Forsaken was the first song written for Diluvium. So actually it's a quite old song, but we reworked it from scratch. Also the lyrical direction is more related to the end of the world. So it's a quite cool opener, right? Solaris deals with the idea of rebuilding a certain person you lost over the years, completely unexpected. You more or less rebuild the character out of the memories and things remember from this person, then get the chance to finally say goodbye and tell them, her, whoever, what you really thought you wanted to say at the very last time. And I think that's quite poetic, and looking back to a couple of friends I lost over the years, I wish I really would like to have somewhere in the future. Valediction, the title track of the album, deals with the last farewell, the last goodbye, as you hear in the chorus. It deals, straight with friends and family members I lost over the last year. In 2020 I lost 5 close friends, musicians, and also 3 family members in total. So it was kind of a rough year, but at the same time you have so much time before you. You never know if you're going to die tomorrow, if you're going to live another 40, 50 years, who knows? The sad thing is you usually never have the time to say goodbye to your beloved ones, to friends, family members, doesn't matter, but you never have the time to say goodbye finally. And this song deals with that. Song number 4, called When Stars Collide, is a quite epic and cheesy alike title for a song. It has a more uplifting pace, in my opinion. It's a feel-good song with a bittersweet undertone. It's more about knowing that everything will end sooner or later, but still enjoying the moment. So at the same time, you know nothing lasts forever, but at the same time, you enjoy what you're doing at the moment. Sometimes you have to ask yourself if you really like what you do, because you don't have that much time left. Song number 5, called In Unity, is a very, very personal song, and it deals with a topic I never wrote anything about so far. It's a personal story and the feeling when we left Eastern Germany before the wall was down. My family and me, we left with nothing. It was, looking back, a quite strange decision, because only half a year or a year later the wall was down, but nobody knew at that time. But my parents made the decision to leave everything behind, their entire life, their families, their friends. And I think this decision is forming my family up today. From my perspective now, looking back to a decision they made 30 years after, it still affects the entire family. And it's quite weird, leaving everything, a country, a way of living behind you, to be stranded somewhere else. We didn't know where we're going to start. We had nothing and we had to build up everything from scratch. But this idea to start something new, you have zero, you have nothing. And you simply have iron will, perseverance, and you do what you think is right to have a better living. This is something that drives me up to date. And I thought it was a nice connection to the idea of a valediction, to a last goodbye. Because we never got back what we lost and left behind us. DEVOURED USURPER deals with a lost friendship. Some characters you have to leave behind you because some people are simply toxic and it doesn't make sense to keep something like that up. To be clear, it deals with a friend I worked with a couple of years, actually some years, and he tried to take everything from me I built up for the last 20 years, but I figured out soon enough and found a solution to fix that. Beyond is a similar song. It deals with people everybody knows. People that know everything, that think they are better than you. People that try to show you that they have everything, that they can achieve everything, but in fact they are nothing and they will disappear in nothingness sooner or later. They stumble across their own ego and sooner or later you won't hear anything from them anymore. So you leave them behind. The song Neuromancer was also a working title of the band Christian brought up. And I found a book with the same title, and when I read through it, I figured it deals more or less about a society that leaves behind all their own decisions. So you start without knowing it yourself, day by day, that you piece by piece are less independent. Day by day, year by year, you leave more and more decisions to somebody else. And then the bottom line is you leave behind the idea of make your own decisions anymore. And I found that that's a quite cool topic and connects very well with the entire album title, with Valediction, leaving stuff behind you, but in a very other direction. Inadversity deals with people that simply drag you down, negative people, and sometimes it's just hurtful, sometimes it's annoying, but in the end, if you really enjoy the time you have on this planet, in this life, leave this behind you. Don't deal with negative people. You can try to help friends that are somewhere in a dead end, that have a bad time for some reason, but if you leave that too close to yourself, you will never enjoy that. And this song deals with leaving all that behind you. Heritage starts with the same acoustic pace as the opening track Forsaken does, and it also ends with an acoustic part. So the album ends the same way as it started, and we have the entire connection. What I wanted to do with Heritage, lyrical-wise, is combining two characters singing along, but in different worlds. Let me explain. One of those characters is represented through a vocoder and the other one through the regular metal voice. Both are completely different melody lines, but in certain spots they meet. And if you translate this to the artwork, it's exactly the same. You have two worlds somehow speaking with each other, but at the end you don't know, is this the Nirvana? Is this like the Dead? Or the other one, who, well, at first look might be still in the living world? You don't know. You don't know. It's a completely twist, and only at certain spots they meet. And I think this is a very poetic idea of representing the artwork into lyrics, into music. And for me, that's the perfect album closer.